All right, let's talk about power. Not just any power, but the kind Robert Greene lays out in his, let's be honest, pretty controversial classic, The 48 Laws of Power. But here's the thing, we're not just going to list them off. Nope. We're going to crack open the system behind the laws, the core principles that actually make them tick. So, first things first, we got to get our definition right. Power? It's not what you think. It's not about brute force, not at all. Greene argues that real power is way more subtle. It's a game of social engineering. It's all about shaping the world around you by pulling two main levers. First, how people see you, their perception. And second, how much they actually need you, their dependency. Okay, so that brings us to the first pillar, and this one is huge, mastering perception. Why? Because here's the secret sauce. People don't react to what's real. They react to what they think is real. And guess what? You can shape that. And this right here, this is the core of it. We love to think we're rational, that we act on facts, but we don't, not really. We act on the story we're told, the image someone projects. That means your ability to control that narrative, that's probably the most fundamental tool of power you have. Which brings us right to Law 5. Think about your reputation for a second. It's not just what people think of you, it's this invisible force that walks into a room before you even get there. It sets the stage. A great reputation, it scares off your enemies and pulls in your allies without you saying a word. That's why you have to guard it with your life. You know, a huge part of managing perception isn't about you. It's about the people above you. It's about their egos. The book is crystal clear on this one. Never outshine the master. Seriously, your job is to make them feel smart, secure, even brilliant. Let them take the credit for your work. It might feel wrong, but you're not being weak. You're being incredibly strategic. You're buying yourself a powerful ally. All right, pillar number 2. This builds right on top of perception. It's all about controlling the flow, not just of information, but of emotion too. See, power isn't only about what you put out there. It's just as much about what you decide to hold back. This is the whole idea behind Law 4, always say less than necessary. Think about it. When you're guarded with your words, you become a bit of a mystery. And people can't stand a vacuum. They'll rush to fill that silence, and in the process, they'll spill their own secrets, their own plans, their own worries. All of a sudden, your silence? It's your best tool for gathering intel. Okay, so you want something you can actually try, like right now? Here's a little tactical step. Next time you're in a meeting or a conversation, make your point in one single, sharp sentence. And then stop. Just be quiet. Watch what happens. People get nervous with silence, and they'll start talking just to fill it. It's amazing what you can learn, and wow, you will instantly seem more authoritative. And check this out. This is a brilliant little tactic. The book calls it selective honesty. It's a 3-step move. First, you admit to some small, totally harmless mistake. This makes you look human, relatable, trustworthy. It completely lowers their defenses. And then, bam, you hit them with your real proposal. They're so much more likely to buy in because you've already disarmed them. Okay, moving on to our third pillar. We're going beyond just perception now to something much more solid. Leverage. And what is leverage? It's making yourself so critical that people literally can't get rid of you. The whole game here is about dependency. When you're the only person who knows how to do that one thing, or you control the one process that everything else relies on, well, the entire power dynamic flips on its head. All of a sudden, your boss needs you way more than you need them. It's a stark idea, but the book says you can basically get them to do what you want because the cost of losing you is just too high. And this really gets to the cold, hard logic of this whole pillar. Necessity is what makes the world go round. Just think about it for a sec. If what you do isn't absolutely essential, you're disposable. Your entire strategic goal should be to shift from being just nice to have to being absolutely necessary. And look, this isn't just some abstract idea. There's a literal playbook for this. First step, find a nagging, recurring problem that everyone complains about but nobody fixes. Second step, quietly create a unique process to solve it. And the final, most crucial step, you become the one and only person who controls that process. You're not just hoping to become indispensable, you are actively engineering it. And that brings us to the end game, the master principle that weaves all of this together. But it also brings us face to face with a big, unavoidable question that's probably been on your mind this whole time. The ultimate law? Be formless. Be like water, right? Don't have a set shape, don't have a predictable playbook. The true masters of power, they adapt. They can feel the right moment to act. They flow around problems instead of trying to smash through them. That kind of fluid adaptability, that's the highest level of the game. So, here it is, the elephant in the room. I mean, let's just call it what it is. A lot of these laws are about deception, manipulation, some pretty ruthless stuff. So we have to ask, is any of this okay? Is it ethical to actually use these strategies? Now, the book itself doesn't really care about morality. It's famously amoral. But for those of us living in the real world, here's a modern filter you can apply. Before you make a move, just run a quick audit in your head. Ask yourself, is what I'm about to do creating real value for everyone involved? Or am I just taking something for myself? The idea is if you can align your tactics with creating value, you're not just being ethical, you're also protecting your reputation for the long haul, which, as we know, is the cornerstone of power anyway. So what's the bottom line here? It's this. Power dynamics are happening all around you all the time, whether you choose to play or not. And you can read about this stuff all day, but the real learning comes from doing. So here's your move, your challenge for the week. Pick one, just one of these little tactics. Maybe you'll try saying less in a meeting and just listen. Or maybe you'll start quietly mapping out who depends on who at work. Just try it. Pay attention to the results. See for yourself how these hidden currents are shaping your reality. Who knows what you'll find?